Hey Sharks, Andrew Keene, CEO and President of AlphaShark.com. Option education. Last week we talked about how we're going to teach you the Greeks today, but you know what? I found something that's a little bit more important. So don't worry guys, we're going to get to the Greeks in the next couple of weeks. But what I want to talk about today is stock replacement strategies, how you can use deep in the money calls or deep in the money puts to replace either a long stock position or a short stock position. Jim Cramer from Mad Money, one of my favorite people in the world, another from one of my Jewish brethrens. He talks about, stock replacement strategies as well, where you can buy in the money calls instead of stock, and we're going to talk about it here. So let's talk about stock replacement strategies using calls. And we'll use what hit a new all-time high today, Amazon. So we see here in Amazon, the stock is trading. Okay, so Amazon here is trading $872. Let's say you wanted to buy Amazon stock. Let's say you wanted 100 shares of stock. 100 shares times $872, I'll give you the math. That's a lot of money. It's almost $100,000, okay? $87,200. Is it 870? No. How much is it?
874 is the price.
874?
Yeah.
Wow. It's going to go to $1,000. So if you want to buy 100 shares of Amazon, you're going to have $87,000 in your account to own 100 shares. What you can do instead of that, maybe you can go look in the January 2018. You can buy one of the 700 calls. And this may cost you $175. 175, okay? Remember options, okay? One option controls 100 shares of stock. So if you buy this one lot of call for $175, it's equivalent to 100 shares of stock. And this is only going to cost you $17,500, okay? So stock replacement strategy, buying deep in the money calls, lowers your margin requirement. On the top example, you're going to have to give the brokerage $87,000 because the stock can go to zero. On the second option, remember, a call option is the right but not obligation to buy stock at a certain level. So what do you think is better? $87,000 of margin or $17,000? This is about 20% less. So this is an example, guys, using calls as a stock replacement strategy in the money calls, lowers your margin. In theory, if you had 87,000, you could buy 5 of these, okay? So it's going to give you a lot more leverage. And that's one way that options are used, stock replacement strategies, and using leverage. Next, we're going to talk about deep in the money puts as a stock replacement strategy. Hey Shark, second part is using deep in the money puts instead of short stock. Bill Ackman's a perfect example. He shorted Herbalife naked, okay? Butt naked, okay? And what happens is if you short a stock naked, in theory it can go to infinity, right? If you buy a stock, it can only go to zero. But if you short it, it can just keep going and ever. So one thing I never do is short stock naked, or another thing I do is sell calls naked. Those are the 2 riskiest trades you could do. So what he could have done in Herbalife is buying deep in the money puts. I'm going to give you guys a perfect example here. You can tell that Bolt's paying attention. She's really excited that she's going to learn this. So this is going to be stock replacement strategy using puts, okay? And I actually taught all this to my EO forum in San Diego like 2 weeks ago. So in front of 9 entrepreneurs, all doing a minimum of $1 million in revenue in their company. I taught them these basic, simple strategies, and I'm teaching them to you guys today. So let's say Google, which I just looked it up, is trading $850. And you say to yourself, I think Google is going to go down, okay? And the concept of shorting a stock is selling a stock that you don't currently own. So you can say right now, I want to short Google at $850. But you have to pay it back at some point in time. So shorting stock is selling a stock that you don't currently own. If we did a profit and loss graph of shorting stock, okay, looks like this. And it goes to infinity. That's down. That's bad, right? Because if you short a stock, it can only go to zero. Some stocks, I think, should go to negative, but actually they don't. I was actually long, this is a little funny story. I was long a Russian vodka company that went out of business to zero, CEDCQ. How could a Russian vodka company go to zero? I mean, if you think about it, bold, it doesn't make sense. I drink a lot of vodka. It's Russian vodka. It's good vodka. So anyways, so this is the P&L graph, okay? So let's say I said to myself, I'm like, hey, I think Google is going to go down. I want to short the stock, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to buy a deep in the money put. So here, depending on your brokerage firm, this might not even be allowed, okay? You might not be allowed to short stock, okay? What happens if, Google takes over the world and goes to $2,000, $3,000? Okay, anything can happen in the stock market. You might not be allowed to in your brokerage account. So what you could do here is you could buy the January 1,000 puts for $152. Okay, so you could buy the January 1,000 puts for $152. So this gives you the right but not obligation to short stock anytime between now and January on the 1,000 strike, and you're paying $152. So right here, if you really wanted to get nitty gritty, your break even here is $848. Okay, so you make money anywhere under $848. Okay, so this is a perfect example. We talked about stock replacement strategy for calls, lowering your margin, increasing your leverage. It works for puts as well. Maybe they'll say, this is going to cost you $200,000 because you can't short stock naked, right? In this example, it's only going to cost you $15,200. 152 times 100 because the right but not obligation to sell stock at the $1,000 level. So this is an example, guys, of how you can use deep in the money calls and deep in the money puts as stock replacement strategies, either the long side or the short side. Two important things that you guys should get takeaways of this. Number one is margin, okay? You're lowering your margin. You're not gonna have to put up that much cash up front. And number two, using leverage in your advantage and taking advantage of this, guys. So look at these strategies, learn these. If you guys have any questions, sharks, please reach out to me. Andrew@alphashark.com. Also, any comments below. We'd love hearing it, subscribers and sharks feedback, positive, negative, whatever you guys want. We're here for you guys. I do this option education. We've got unbelievable feedback so far. So sharks, make sure the link here to get my free ebook. It's how to turn a small account into a large one using unusual option activity. This is a great course for someone who's looking to build their account up from a small one to a big one. Also, make sure you check out next week's option education curriculum. It's going to be covered call strategy. This is the only option strategy that the SEC and the OCC has said it's non-speculative. This is basically selling calls against a long stock position. You can look at it one of two ways, an extra dividend stream or lowering your cost basis. So make sure you guys check out the option education next week and just click that link right there, guys. You'll get my ebook for free. I want you guys to always be learning. Thanks, sharks, and see you next week.